Okay, so I'm like so nervous right now. Let's get started and see where this goes. Hi everyone, I'm back. My name's Kristel. I am so nervous. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're just gonna go with this, okay? I use her, she pronouns, and I am coming to you today from the land of the Bunurong or Bunurong people here in Victoria, and I would like to pay my respects to all elders, past, present, and emerging. I hope I did that correctly. Honestly, my 5.5-year-old could have done a better job than me. Actually, she has. I am Kristel Knits on Instagram, books, hooks, and yarn on Ravelry, and I haven't done this in about, I want to say 8 to 9 months. It's been that long. So I'm very rusty, and I have a feeling there will be a lot of editing. This is episode 3 of Kristel Knits. This is just a place where I sit down and talk about what I've been knitting, what's going on with life, what I would like to knit, and the yarn that I've bought or purchases I've made that are related to my craftiness, and share my dog with you because she's right here and she never leaves me. Come here. Come here. Come say hi. Oh, first time in my life I've just been given the cold shoulder. Okay. Feeling a bit rejected right now. I have made myself a coffee. It's very hot in my little Knitter's Gonna Knit mug. I hope you've got something with you because I have a feeling it's either going to be one where I talk really fast, it doesn't go as long as I think it will, or it'll go for forever because I will waffle on. Either way, coffee's a good idea. Oh, it's so hot. Okay. Happy New Year. So I guess I'm kind of wrapping up my Vlogmas with this as well because I didn't actually get to finish that. What happened is I got quite sick. I had COVID at the start of December, I think. And I got over that sort of about 2 weeks after I had it. I started getting a bad cough, and I actually just thought it was a COVID cough, like a lingering side effect or something, because I didn't, but at the same time I didn't, because I didn't have a cough when I had COVID. So I don't know, I just thought it was related somehow. And then it evolved into bronchitis, which I normally get every year, and I hadn't had it yet this year. So I got a whopping bad case of bronchitis to the point that I was on Ventolin here at home and stuff. It was just hard to breathe. And I'm quite fond of breathing. And then the bronchitis started to subside and I noticed I couldn't hear out of my right ear. So this is all happening over the Christmas period. Doctors weren't open every single day. I finally got to go see my doctor, and I had a really severe ear infection. It had started in my right and was spreading to my left. I'm still cloudy in my ears. Oh, I don't know how else to describe it. Like I feel this bubble of pressure and stuff still in my right ear. My left ear is still a bit funny as well. So I'm on really strong antibiotics at the moment, still healing. And so yeah, I didn't end up finishing my Vlogmas because I got pretty sick, to be honest, and I put all my time and energy into getting through Christmas with my family instead of recording. But I did open up a beautiful green skein, a full skein of yarn from Mel from Three Cats Yarn on Christmas Day, and I can't remember what my stitch marker was for Christmas Day from Game of Widows. I'll have to look it up, or I'll just pop a photo in here if I remember to take one. I think I did. I might actually start with my Advents because that is knitting I've been doing the most, and in saying that, I only bought half the project over here with me. So I have half of it in this bag, and I will just go grab the other half. Okay, I'm back. Let's pull this out. So I decided with my advents, not the advents, I purchased the advent I did with Mel from 3 Cats Yarn, Maddie of Mad About You, and Ali from Fiberbound. We did a friend vent swap, and I loved it so much. As I was opening each day, I was like, I have to actually cast something on with this year. Normally my advents just sit there and I pick a project later to do with them. Sorry, itchy eye. But I decided this year, looking at all the colours, I was like, I have to cast this on. So I did. And I decided to do the Adventurous Wrap by Amber O'Brien. Oh, this is the Notions patch I got from the 3 Cats Yarn advent. So I've been using that in my bag. So it's basically 2 triangles knit. So you knit the triangle and then you cast off one slanted side of the triangle and you leave the other one on needles or cables or whatever you've got lying around. Oh, please don't do that, Jazzy. And then you knit the other triangle and then you use a bind off to join the 2 triangles together. So that's the construction. I don't think I'm giving anything away because that's pretty obvious in the like rundown of the pattern. You can see that from the photos, that's what the construction is. So, and you're about to see it anyway, so I'm not telling you like any other details. But yeah, it's 2 triangles and then they're put together. I have finished my first triangle. I do have a marker from the last point I showed you during Vlogmas. I guess I'll just show you. So it's quite large. Yeah, this is the side I want to show you. So there we go. It's so pretty. Look at all those colors. So, where was I up to? I was up to my little ducky. I got this duck with the Game of Widows stitch marker advent that I got. So that's where I was up to when I showed it on Vlogmas last. And I finished all these colors and bound off this side. So you actually bind off in the color that you start with. So that's what that color is in here. It's just hard to see because of the speckle that it's faded into. I started knitting this in the order that the colors came in. So the first 6 colors are mine. So from this minty color all the way up to this blue here. Those are mine. And then I did start with the first couple from Ali because they just went in so beautifully. But then we started getting like coral colors and other bits and pieces. So, and obviously I started knitting this maybe 8 days after I started opening colors. So each day I'm opening a new color and I was nowhere near up to knitting those colors. So I did have the luxury of being able to go, oh, well, these are the colors that I've opened so far. This is the order I'll do. And every time I open a new color, I change the order. So yeah, this is the order I ended up with for the first triangle. It's very blues, greens, and purples. I'm not mad about that. Kind of my favorite palette. The next triangle is going to be more pinks and oranges and stuff like that. It doesn't start out that way because you have to start with color 1 again. I did have to really think about how I was going to join all these in together. So I haven't done as much on this one because I got distracted by new knitting and old knitting. More on that later. So I did start with color 1 again. So that's that in the middle. And then I decided to fade that into this beautiful variegated that had pops of this exact color in it. And then it also had darker greens. So I added the dark green into it, which probably seems like an odd choice because the next ones go kind of orangey. But this variegated one here, see how it's got the bits of dark green in it? So I thought that kind of went in nice with the dark green, but then it's got the exact shade of coral that's my next color. So yeah, it kind of goes nicely. And then I'm going to be going up to all these different pinks and stuff. So I don't know why I've got a reindeer. Oh, I put that there because I was just seeing the progress I made in a day because I was feeling a bit unmotivated, but I'll move that now. So I'll know this is where it was when I showed it to you now. And hopefully next time that I show this to you, I will either have made lots of progress or it'll be done, depending on what I decide to knit on. So yes, that's my Advent knitting for this year. I'm loving it. It's a great pattern. I do have all my other minis in here, so I've got like lots of pinks and purples and a couple of brownie colors in there as well. And then I have to finish off with my main color again. So I will show you that as it keeps going. It's a very easy knit. It's a very easy process to memorize once you get going. My only issue is taking it around with all the colors because I take all the colors with me just in case, because you never know. The one time I didn't take all the colors with me, I desperately needed a color I didn't have with me. So I learnt my lesson then. I haven't been knitting on it lately because I have other things I've been working on. I mentioned during Vlogmas that I met up with Maddie and, oh, sorry, I have an itch. And a couple of other knitty friends for the first time in the city. And it inspired me to count my whips. I didn't have as many as I thought I did. I thought I would have about 16, possibly 20. I had 14, so that was a nice surprise for me. Sorry, some of my pages fell out. So I actually sat down and wrote all my whips out that I had still sitting there for the 1st of Jan. And I also wrote down my goals for 2023, which includes a monthly podcast because I'm all about the work-life balance this year. So my goals for 2023 are monthly podcast, tick for January, finished my whips from 2022, which I'll tell you about in a moment. I have a knit wish list for 2023, so I have a lot of things in my queue on Ravelry. But I have some things I really, really want to knit, or I have a reason for knitting them. So top of the list is the half and half wrap, the Pierre shawl by West Knits, the winter rose shawl. I don't think she'll be watching, but it is a present for somebody in my family, so I do need to start that soon, because who knows how long it'll take me to knit. A Musselburgh hat, a ranunculus top, a bubble V crop, and the Ursa sweater, which I did cast on twice and frogged twice, and I'm determined to do it this year. I would like to try my hand at some more brioche projects because I do actually enjoy the finished project. I enjoy the process as well, but I love the finished project of brioche. A stash busting project, so something that's like 3 or more skeins, which I am currently doing, but I would like to do more of those because I do have quite a lot of yarn. And a scrappy project because, for example, from my Advent knitting, these are all my little leftover. I have different amounts of each color depending on where it was in the shawl, but in the wrap, sorry. But yeah, I need to use them. It could be scrappy socks, it could be a scrappy jumper, it could be scrappy blanket. I haven't decided yet, but I want to do something. And I would also like to keep Ravelry updated and post more frequently, or at least take pictures of my projects and my knitting, because a lot of the time people are like, oh, what are you working on? I'll go pull out my phone to show them the photo and realize I haven't taken a photo for so long. There has been reasons for that. I lost a lot of confidence last year. I ended up with really severe acne. I don't know why. I ended up going and getting like all these checks done and hormone levels and everything, and nothing came back as to what it could have been. I have no idea. I ended up changing my skincare routine, and I'm now one of those people that has a 6-step nighttime routine. But it works, so it's so worth it. I will keep at that. Now, a couple of things I mentioned on that list that I can address right now. So, whips from 2022. I have, like I said, I had 14. Can I help you? Would you like to say hello now? Or you just want to nose my hand for no reason? Nose for nose? Love you. I love you, Jessiminda. Oh, okay. Come say hi. Oh, my big girl. Oh, cuddles. Oh. Thank you. I don't want to kiss. I don't want to kiss. I don't want to kiss. No. I don't want to kiss. No. Just a hug. She's such a sook. She's such a mommy's girl. All right, you good now? No? Oh, okay, off you go. All right, doggy interruption over. Of the 14 whips that I had written down, Jazz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them were socks. And I love knitted socks. I lost my mojo for a bit there, I think. Maybe because I'm just doing the same sock over and over. I'm going to try and challenge myself to pattern socks this year to try and spice things up a little bit. But I pulled out a couple of them to have a look and see where I was up to, because I remember one of them, I was halfway through a heel and I'd put it down because the school holidays had finished, and when I went to pick it up again, I was like, I have no idea where I'm up to. Am I up to a decrease? Am I up to a knit round? What am I doing? And all I had to do was sit there and count the rows and read my knitting and I would have figured it out, and I just could not spare the brain power in the last term of school to be able to do that. So I didn't. They just sat there. And the other pair was a pair of like DK Shorty socks that I just assumed I was up to like the gusset or something that required a bit more thinking than just knitting. No, I'm so annoyed with myself that I could have had these 2 projects completely finished and felt a bit more accomplished about my knitting year, because I think I had 4 finished objects for the year. And like there was such simple things, like I could have done them and felt like, because knitting brings me so much joy, I could have just done these and gotten that like serotonin that would have made me feel so good, and I just didn't. So anyway, I have posted these on Instagram already, so it's a bit of a whatever, you've already seen them. But so I just called these my Kristel socks on Ravelry because they're just like the tube that I knit with a cuff on each end, and then I split it in the middle, put in toes on both, and then measure where I need to have my heel, split it again, put the heel in. And I called them that because the bag I had them in, which is up in my stash stuff, is called the Kristel bag by Mavis Castlemate. So I called them my Kristel socks because they were in a Kristel project bag, which is still in her shop, by the way. It's super cute. It has cats and books and plants. So basically the 3 parts of my personality in a bag. Colors. So this, I don't think they make this anymore, but this is by, I want to say Moya. It could be Moya, as in like Moyan, or I'm not sure. It's a sock set. They're all about sustainable yarns though. They only do cotton yarn now, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was just like a limited edition run stuff. I got it from Little William Makes in Hastings, and yeah, it came with these. I don't know what the color is or anything like that. I tried to look it up on my Instagram or my Ravelry. I had no information, so I'm assuming it wasn't on a label or anything anywhere. It also wasn't written in any of my old knitting notebooks from last year. So yeah, it's a cute colorway. It's very pretty and it's up nicely. A bit splitty when I had to split to do like the heels and toes, not the toes, but when I split the tube, but it was okay. Little white mini came with it, which I used for the cuff. I didn't think I had enough for the heels and toes. It probably was. I always just get a bit cautious. I don't like to play yarn chicken. It's not my thing. There are many things in life I will gamble on. Knitting is not one of them, except for swatches. I'm a complex person. So yeah, and then, so for the heels and toes, I decided to use Mobilis by Mel of 3 Cats Yarn. This is before her rebranding and all of her different sock bases. I'm assuming it's something similar to her everyday sock or her superb sock. I'm not sure, but I got this a little while ago. It's one of my favorite colorways of hers. She gifted it to me in, I want to say template, and I made a beanie for my niece, and I remember thinking, oh my god, I just want to just bury me with this color. It's so pretty. How nice is that? Yeah, it makes me so happy to look at. And I just thought it went in so nicely with the pinks and stuff in this tube. So they're done. They're a little bit bigger than what I thought. I know I haven't lost weight because that's not going to change my foot size. But when I put them on, they were a little bit loose around my foot. So yeah, I think it might have just been the fact that I don't gauge swatch for socks and I just knit. I could have just knit a bit looser, or it could have just been the yarn. Who knows? I've never had that problem before, that my socks were too big. So yeah, that's one finished object. Now, the reason I was annoyed with myself, sorry. So one sock, this one, I had done the cuff, the tube, the toes. I was halfway through the heel. So easy to figure out where I was up to. Finished it. This one was sitting there. I had the marker in for where I needed to cut the heel. I had this done, this done. I literally had the needle sitting there ready to just attach the toes. I think it took me an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and these were done. Actually, I don't even think it was that long because it was, you know, 1.5 heels and 1 toes. I just, I'm so annoyed with myself. Done. So I finished those one day, and quite literally the next day, I went, okay, well, what's in the next, what's in the next sock bag? These are a pair of DK Shorty socks. I had this sock completely finished. Done, finito, nothing doing, didn't have to do anything with it. This one, I finished the cuff, which for these socks for me is the longest part. So the ladybug is where I was up to. Ladybug, ladybug, fly away home. Ladybug. So I finished the cuff. So I finished the rest of it. That was another, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours maybe. DK Shorty socks take no time at all. And that was done. This is leftover yarn. I made a brioche kitty cat beanie by, I want to say Suzanne Summers, but I'm not entirely sure. I will just pop it here. It was called the brioche kitty hat, and I made it as part of the 2022 cat-along held by Mel of 3 Cats Yarn. So we all made like cat-themed projects or cat-themed yarn, stitch markers, progress keepers, project bags, all that kind of stuff, and it was really fun. And it was by Red Riding Hood yarns in the colorway Belle, which happens to be my nickname. So of course I used it. My daughter and I share the beanie. We love it. It's super soft and squishy. And then I decided I had enough left over to make a pair of socks, and I still have more left over, but I don't think I'll be doing anything with those leftovers. Sorry, somebody's taking a toy out of her basket. It's drinkable now. So that's, yeah, quickly smashed those out as well. I got to cross 2 things off, and I've got 12 left to go now. So out of those 12, there was one that I really wanted to get done. It's not done yet. It is still a work in progress. It's still a whip. Mostly because there's a lot of ribbing. I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. In Halloween of 2021, I believe, I cast on an anchors tee for my daughter, my eldest daughter, my almost 8-year-old, would you believe? At the time, she was my 6.5-year-old. And I got a few rounds of the top ribbing yoke done and put it aside because it's a lot of 1x1 ribbing. And then I picked it up again October last year, October 2022, and I smashed out a ton of it to the point that I finished the yoke split for the sleeves and was ready to go on the body. And then I put it away again, as you do. I don't know why I did. I was carting it to and from work and trying to just get a round or 2 done each day of the body. It was just, it's not my colors. I love the pattern. I've actually really enjoyed, I know I said it's a lot of 1x1 ribbing, but I've actually really enjoyed I think it's because there's a certain number of rounds of the 1x1 ribbon you do, and then you do rounds of increases and stuff. And knowing that I only had a certain number of rounds to do made it so much more achievable. So yeah, I got there. So I've left some stitch markers in. So this one's where I put it away, I'm guessing the first time. So I got that much done before I put it away. And then between here and here is, no, that's not correct. It was a bit further up that I only just put this in the other day to motivate me to see how much progress I'd get done. I was about halfway through the body and I put it away again. So this is the Anchor T. I'm knitting this in it's either the extra small or the small, I can't quite remember. But my daughter did request it. I tried it on her and she goes, oh, can it actually be cropped, please? I was like, yeah, sure. So the original request was cropped with long sleeves. And my plan was to do the sleeves in this color and then restripe these colors again when I got close to the cuff. I thought that'd be so cute. She tried it on yesterday because I finished the bottom ribbing. So that's all done. It's all finished and ends are sewn in. I probably shouldn't have done that so quick. Oh no, have I? No, sorry. You know how like when you finish binding off, there's always that little tiny gap and you just kind of need to put the thread through and join it back together. I did that and got her to try it on and she goes, oh, I love it. I'm like, okay, I've just got the sleeves to do. She goes, oh, aren't the sleeves done? I was like, no, I haven't even like picked up the stitches yet. She's like, oh, can you just make them short sleeved? I really want to be able to wear it in summer as well. I was like, okay. So I've just got to do a cuff, a ribbed cuff, and it's done, which I know I could just take with me to the movies today because I'm going to go see Avatar, and it could be done, but because the color is dark and I'll be sitting in the dark, I am easily distracted and I might mess up the ribbing if I take it to the movies with me, so I'm not going to do that. But I will sit down this week at some point and get it done. So hopefully next time you see this, it will be finished, either that or it will look exactly the same and I'll have made no progress whatsoever. It's much of a muchness at this point. I don't know which way it's going to go. Oh, I have an example. I have two of these bags. I was mentioning the Kristel bag before. I have two. One has my Pierre shawl yarn in it. So this is the Kristel bag. How cute is it? It's a kitty cat reading, and that one's on the books. It's reading. And there's plants, because I love plants. Yeah, I love this bag. Megan's very talented. Very clever at what she does. Alright, so that's that. Okay, so I do have my Cozy Comfort throw. I actually can't remember if I put that on the list. Yes, I did. Okay, so the Cozy Comfort throw by, I want to say Homespun House, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll change it down here if I've gotten that wrong. Was my Advent knitting from, so I got the Advent in 2021. I've been knitting in 2022. I'm still knitting it. I have not finished. I think I've got 6 colours left to go. I put it down because I needed to make a new magic cake of the last 6 minis that I've got left to go. And I never got around to it. So I picked it up to knit on the other night. Excuse you, out of all the toys, that's the one you pick. Go choose something quieter, please. Off you go. Go get something else. I picked it up to knit on after I'd finished the socks the other night. It's like, oh, I've just finished socks. I'll just knit on this blanket because it's just garter. And knitting away, I went, oh, I'm out of yarn. Oh, that's why I put this away. So I have no progress really to show you on that. I just need to wind up some yarn. Oh, this dog. Taking it to the other room is not the same thing as choosing a different toy. You need to choose something else or take it outside. Go choose a different toy. No, I'm not a toy. So yeah, I'll wind it up at some point and keep working on it. I technically could have wound the yarn the other day because I did have my Swift and winder out, because I was winding up yarn for the half and half triangle wrap by Pearl Soho. Maddie of Mad About You is running a knit along. It's a bit casual and low key, which I'm so thankful for because I don't do well under pressure. And I need casual, no pressure knitting. So I only wound up the first one. I didn't wind up all of them because I didn't know how long it would take me to knit this, and I didn't want to damage the skeins by winding them up. So I have my first cake here. This is yarn by Jane. It is yarn by Jane. I'm just trying to remember the name. I think it's Dusty Rose or Dusty Pink. I think I'd have this written down. And I do technically have the project written down in my bag, I just don't have the colours. And in truly spectacular fashion, I'm completely wrong. So, it is yarn by Jane, but it's called Frosted Rose. So, it's quite pretty. And I'm also doing a purple, this is Wisteria by Yarns by the Bay. It's my favourite colourway by Liz. I have knit this colourway into so many things. Because I love it. So, I'm doing these two together. So, this is my first half, this is my second half. And it's going quite well. I only started this on the 7th, I think I cast it on. And today is the 10th. Jasmine, that's not your toy. And this is how much I've done in the last 3 days. The night I cast it on, I only cast it on. I didn't do anything else. I just cast it on. So technically I did this on the 8th, 9th, and I did a couple of rows this morning. So I've done that many wrap and turns. It's got my gummy bear stitch marker. I do need to put a progress keeper on, so I'll put that on now so I can tell how much progress I have made since showing it to you for the next time I show you. Problem is doing it with a monthly podcast is that I feel like I should have a lot of things to show you each month because it's been a month since I saw you, but at the same time, where's my back? There it is. I also don't want to put pressure on myself to get too much done in a month because I have a lot of time to knit right now because I'm on school holidays. I might not when we go back to school. All right, I have some Bonnie Mabel Makes stitch markers here. Oh, the ice cream's so cute. So I have the ice cream. I have a chocolate donut with sprinkles. I have another one. I think that's that's the donut. I have a cute little avocado. We know I love avocados. And one of my favorites, coffee. So I'm choosing between the coffee and the ice cream. I don't know which one I want to do yet though. So coffee, no, it was going to be the ice cream. You know how sometimes they're like, oh, you've got two options, flip a coin and don't look at the answer. And whichever one is you're hoping the answer will be, that's the one you pick for. That's the one you pick. So I always do that. Like my youngest daughter always does eeny, meeny, miny, mo when she has to choose between things. But then when she lands on the end, she's like, nah, actually I don't want that one. And she picks the other one. I'm like, but at least it helped you make a choice because you landed on one and went, actually no, what I really want is the other one. Thank goodness the like rules of eeny, meeny, miny, mo are not like bound by law or anything, and the one you land on is the one you have to pick because she would be ruined. No, you're supposed to go on the knitting. Okay, we have an ice cream on. Good to go. All right, I always put it like the row below where I'm knitting because I don't want to risk knitting it into my knitting. Do I speak from experience? Yes, I do. All right, so that's that I'm working on. That's that I'm working on. I've shown you. I have so many other whips. I have like a whole cute little basket that I bought that has whips and stuff in it, but I haven't worked on any of those, so I don't see the point in showing you. I have a couple of other little things that I want to work on. I have a few other pairs of socks, obviously. Like, this is how silly it is. Look how much of this sock I did. This is a Halloween colorway that I got, self-striping one, and look how much of the tube I've done. Yep. And it's just sitting there. So this might be what I take to the movies with me actually today, and just work on that because it's ridiculous that they're not done. I also have another pair of, I didn't just do one project for the cat-along last year. I have a pair of cat socks in my whip basket as well, which I got one sock completely finished, the other one's half done, and it's just sitting there. And it's not that I lose interest in my projects, it's just that sometimes life happens and I lose the brain capacity to knit. I just can't. Simple as that. Just can't. So it's either going to be this or my half and half that I take with me, because it's going to be a 3-hour movie from what I've heard, and I would like to be able to just knit. So that'll be good. I'm supposed to drink the coffee, not inhale it. I don't really have any life admin stuff. I do have books I've been reading though. Ew, there's something in, yeah, that was fiber. Let me grab them. Books. Looks like a lot. But I haven't all read them all like since school holiday started or anything. I've read a couple of them, but there were some that I read during the year, last year, that I wanted to share. One that I still think about frequently is The Midnight Library. I've never been a what if person. Like there have been big turning points in my life, and I don't spend a lot of time going, what if I had moved to Queensland with my mum instead of staying down here when I was 16? What if I had chosen a different career path? What if I had decided on my career path much earlier in life instead of waiting until I was in my mid-20s to figure out what it is I wanted to do? What if we had decided not to have kids? What if we had decided not to get married? What if? Like, there's so many what ifs. And I'm very happy with my life right now, so I don't spend a lot of time thinking about that kind of stuff. I'm sure there are alternate universe Kristels out there somewhere living those lives where different decisions were made. But in this universe, in this reality, I'm very happy with my life, and so I don't go around. But the idea of being able to try all those different lives and seeing which one fit based on this preconceived notion of who I think I am and what I actually want from life is very intriguing. Like, I don't want to do it for real life, but I loved reading about it. And it also made me stop and think about what I want from life. Like, is it what I actually want, or is it what I think I want based on what other people have told me? So I highly recommend this. I also kind of love the idea that our lives are literally what we make them. That's it. They are the result of our choices and our decisions and our actions. So yeah, and of course the fact that it involves books, always a winner for me. All right, so Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I'm guessing that's how you say his name. Very good. Very, 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 very good. The Near Daphne Experience. Jazz, I swear to God. Stop. Near Daphne Experience. I read this, not sure what to expect. Wasn't a huge fan of the, like, what do you call it? Structure, I guess, the layout like it's letters and emails and text messages and stuff like on the pages, not format. It's not my favorite format. But it sucked me in. Whew. So that's by Alison Reynolds. I can't give anything away about this book because you got to read it to figure it out. Very good though. Not my normal genre, which makes me remember that I actually don't care about genre. Same with music. I don't care about genre. I just kind of like what I like. Same with books. I like what I like. The Little Wartime Library, once again, book themed. This is by Kate Thompson. Can't remember the last time I cried while reading a book. I did with this one. It's a great read. It is beautifully written. Hard to put down in certain portions of it. Once I got to a part where I was happy to put it down, I did put it down for not a day, but like I re-entered real life for a little bit and then I went back to it. It was very good. Thing is, if I'm showing you a book here, it probably is very good because I tend not to talk about the books I don't like. So yes, I recommend this one. This I bought for my friend for Christmas. I know she likes Colleen Hoover. I just grabbed it thinking, oh, it's pretty, it's cute. Read the back, didn't read the front top line that says a thriller that will keep you up all night and a twist that will leave you reeling. Didn't read that part. Read the blurb and went, oh, it's a romance. Oh, how sweet. I'm an idiot. I couldn't put it down. I read this in a day. This is not a book you leave and come back to real life for. Carve out the time to read it. Don't put it down. Stock yourself up with beverages and snacks beforehand. Go to the toilet beforehand. Then don't put it down. Because you cannot. It is so good. So this is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I've never read one of her books before. I might have to explore some of her others. So yeah. And this last one I haven't actually read yet. I'm hoping somebody else has. It is called The Butterfly Collector by T. Cooper. It is an Australian-based novel. I want to get into it, but I'm not sure yet. So hopefully, if you have read it, just let me know if you thought it was good or not. Even if you didn't think it was good, I'm probably still going to read it because it was a Christmas present for my kids. So I've got to read it. The back sounds very intriguing and I do love a historical fiction. So I will give it a go and let you know next month how it is. If you have any book recommendations for me, by the way, I'm not really a non-fiction person and keep me away from true crime and horror. Not my genres. I know I just said before, I just like what I like. I'm not really big on genres, but true crime and psychological stuff, like real life ones. No, I don't need to know about the real evils out there. Boogeyman, fine. Vampires, fine. Statistic twisted psychopaths, no. Okay? No. Sorry, I'm a total sook. I am terrified of what goes bump in the night. Mythical creatures I'm fine with. No, I can't do true crime, no. I don't need to know that there are real monsters. Okay, thank you. I haven't really been doing much else, guys. It's school holidays. I'm just, like you're lucky I'm dressed today. I was hanging out in my nightie all morning. Yep. You're lucky I got out of it. It's a cute nightie. It's like tie-dyed bright colors and it says let me sleep with giant eyelashes on it. It's cute. Oh, I guess I could give you a little teaching update, I guess, which is part of my life. So I guess that's just part of the podcast now. If you don't want to listen to it, thank you so much for coming. I don't have any acquisitions to show you because I bought no yarn last year. And it's probably something I'm going to do this year as well, unless it's something that I need for a specific project, which I don't think I will because all the things I have planned, I'm pretty sure I have yarn for. So It's lovely to see you, and I will see you next month. All right, teaching update. I'm teaching grade 2 again this year, but my teaching team has changed. So one of our teaching team from last year has gone up to grade 5, and one of the prep teachers from last year has joined our team, and I'm also moved rooms to my friends, she's still in my teaching team this year. This is the annoying part. 3 of us are moving rooms, but we're still in the grade 2 team. They're just, okay. I'm still doing a Disney themed classroom, and I have all this really cool new furniture because we're slowly, like, classroom by classroom updating the furniture. So I've got all this really cool free learning space furniture, which I love because it's so my jam. And I'm going in 2 weeks today. I get to go in and start setting everything up because we don't get the full 6 weeks of holidays. We've got to go back before the kids do, because otherwise they'll be coming back while we're still setting up, and it's just chaos. And we also have like professional developments and stuff we have to do in the days leading up before they come back. It's going to be a chaotic year this year, but I'm determined to have the balance where I can knit, maybe not as much as what I do on school holidays, but I can knit and I can do this and I can read and watch K-dramas because it's what I'm obsessed with at the moment, and go out to dinner with my friends and stuff like that, and not just get bogged down by everything. I realised towards the end of last year, there were 2 remarks that made me stop and think, I've put too much of myself into this job this year. Not that it's a bad thing, because teachers do put themselves 110% to their jobs, and I really do, but I maybe sacrificed a little bit of my home life for it to happen last year. I don't need to do that. I mentioned something about something I'd thought about for my class, and one of my students pops up and goes, "Mrs. Walker, I think you think about us too much." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "We don't think about you at all after we leave." I was like, ow. But at the same time, I get what she's saying. Like, it's just school for them. Why would they be thinking about it when they're at home, especially in grade 2? But it's like all I thought about last year. It's all I talked about. Sorry, friends and family. So yeah, I need a bit more balance there. And also, I was talking to another teacher randomly in my classroom, and she's like, "Oh, where do you live?" And one of my students pops up and goes, "Oh, she lives in blah, blah, blah. She lives here with this person, and these are her animals, and this is how old everybody is." And I went, do I talk about myself too much? I mean, I don't intentionally, but obviously I have shared a lot of myself with the class and given a lot of myself to the class, which is fine. They were my first grade 2 class by myself full-time. Like last time I taught grade 2, it was a shared classroom and I only worked part-time. This is my first full-time classroom where I was 110% responsible for everything that happened in the classroom, which was terrifying at the start of the year. By the end of the year, I was like, oh, just don't set the room on fire, okay? We are almost at the end. You learn to just roll with it. I'm very excited about my class this year. I'm gonna miss my kiddies from last year. I know I'll see them around. Some of them are literally in the classroom across the hallway from me. But they will always have a very special place in my heart because they were my firsts. So yeah, it's see what this year brings. I can't wait to update you all. In saying that, if some of you happen to be 8-year-olds who should be enjoying their school holidays, go do something else, okay? This is not something you need to be wasting your time watching. And I have to give that warning because I know some of you have found me. I'm watching you. Yeah. I'm going to go finish getting ready to go to the movies. I need to put my shoes on and stuff. Obviously you can tell by the silence that my children are not here. They've gone for a trip to the zoo with their grandparents, and I am taking full advantage of this time that I have mostly by talking to you guys. And I knit this morning, and now I'm gonna go see a movie. So I'm doing all the things that I would love to be able to do on my school holidays, but I don't get a chance to because gremlins. All right, thank you so much for sitting with me for almost an hour. Hopefully it won't be this long by the time I edit it out. It will be, but that's okay. I enjoyed this so much. I was so nervous to start with, and now I don't think I've stopped talking. So yeah, hopefully I can stick to my goals. No, I'm going to stick to my goals. It's not a hopefully situation unless I'm on my deathbed. There's no reason why I can't carve out an hour every month to talk to you guys. I'll see you all next month, or on Instagram, Ravelry, if you want to find me. I think I've already told you at the beginning where to find me, but once more, I am Kristel.Knits on Instagram and Books, Hooks and Yarns on Ravelry. You can find me there, you can find me here, and leave a comment, say hi, find me on Instagram. I'm trying to be more active on there and chat a bit more, get back into my little knitting community because I do love being a part of this community. And I'll see you all next time.